Good morning and welcome to day 2 of the Australian Ultimate Championships for 2024 from a sunny and somewhat blustery Ballarat. We have the Manly Mullets playing hot chili, and my name's Andy Moroney, and today I'm joined by Avril. Tam, how are you?
Hi, Andy. Yeah, I'm really good. After that first cracking game, the women's draw was Chaos versus Chile, and now we're on to the first Opens game of today. Manly Mullets, we've got the roster up here. So Manly yesterday had a win against Crank 14-9 and then losses against Thunder Slice and Ellipsis men. So we'll see what they can do today to try and get up. Captained by Archie Richards and Spirit Captain Matt Diggins.
Yeah, Noah Moss, a player to watch. Manly really kind of I wouldn't say Cinderella story, but they have come up through Div 2. They've done it the long way, so I think that gets a lot of respect from the Ultimate community, and it's also a great example as to why Division II is such a great thing, not only in its own right, but as a development pathway, because now they're up here with the big teams and going to hold their own against a decent Chile outfit that are definitely making inroads as well. How's their tournament been so far?
Yeah, so similar for Hot Chili as well. They came away yesterday with 1 win against Newcastle I-Beam, but 2 losses against Thunder Slice and Ellipsis. So it looks like these two teams might be fairly well matched in terms of where they sit in their pools.
Agreed. And as we see, look at the Hot Chili roster. Miles Caston is the captain. A few old faces, few new faces. Obviously, Mr. Last Dance himself, Tom Regacki, 42, up to his next Dingoes campaign. I won't say last Dingoes campaign because who knows now? But great young talent, Josh Lapari, James Osmond, I think is a Dingo as well. So definitely some good talent on the team. Michael Kelly and Jasper Pentland is the Spirit captain. So we've got Chile on screen in white. They'll be going to the left of screen. Calling a line already. Manly still in their huddle. But I think you're right. I mean, they're both kind of not going to top their pools, but really fighting to not go down to finals. I think top 3 or 4 go through. But obviously, the lower you finish in your pool, the harder an opponent you will play in the quarters. So, very much in their interest to come away with as many wins, or as is happening in one of the pools at the moment, even if you lose, you can go into 3-way tie territory, which is why goal difference then becomes really important.
Yeah, for sure. I suspect that these teams will be hopeful of making quarterfinals, but I think this game will be really important to really secure that spot. Yeah,
massive. You're right. So it looks as though Chile will be pulling. Tom's pulling. For those who didn't watch the first game, obviously the sun is out, not a cloud around. Welcome change from yesterday. But it is quite blustery. So it's going to be interesting to see how each team kind of... I don't think we're going to see clean points.
No. No, in the women's game earlier, definitely, it's the same downwind direction going towards the left of your screen. It was interesting because most of the first half, the beginning, was hold in the downwind, and then we had about 4 or 5 breaks in a row in the upwind. As we go up, as you mentioned, Tom Regacki, massive pull to start.
And Manly Mullets are in, already finding a little bit of difficulty getting their first pass off. Chile down there nicely, working really well. Noah Moss with the disc, has no dump back, gets some help back now. And Manly struggling a little bit downfield. There's not a lot coming now. Matt Zabel gives the release. Zabel moves to Matt Diggins. So they've only really moved it about 5 metres up. Back to Noah Moss. We're going to call his name a lot. Probably one of their best on, I think. That cut ends up coming out. Back to Matt Diggins. Diggins marked by Gak. Gak going in a bit of a straight up, which I think is what's making life a little bit harder than it needs to for Manly. They've not been able to move it downfield at all. The dump has to get out, and this is going to be a stall 9 huck going up, and it does. And it will come back, but it will be incomplete. And the Chile sideline are up and about it as well. They enjoy it. That's some great defensive pressure early on from Chile, setting the tone. Looked like a straight-up force.
Yeah, there was a little bit of junkiness about it because I saw the dump mark kind of poaching off a little bit, containing first and then coming in. But I agree, the straight-up was very effective, stopping any flow, really.
All right. Thomas Rogacki going to be bringing it up at the cone. It's a vertical stack from Chile. He's going upwind. He gets a nice flat flick out. That one will work. Still on the sideline. Nice flow, and they've got it at the halfway point, but it'll come back for a trouble.
Resolved pretty quickly.
Anyway, love the fact that this game is self-officiated. So it was nice flow from Chile. Firstly, that throw from Tom. Didn't get it off the line, but at least hit a player in flow.
And there was another one coming.
Exactly, and it gets it now. So that's nice work. That's David Evans. Moves it up. Nathan Payne. Payne wants to get it off this line, and it's not a bad idea. He engages Kelly. Instead goes further afield. That's to Regan Turner. Turner throws the flat flick here. There's Michael Kelly.
Heat.
Nice bid.
Hang on, there's a pick called in the stack.
Yeah, that would have been on the throw, I think. Should be coming in pretty close to 0.
You can definitely see Hot Chili with the intensity coming out. Yeah, really well.
Sideline as well. Kelly with the disc. Throws the hammer, goes upstairs. It's to Rigaki. This one is safe. That's a goal. That's a break. Lovely hammer.
Rogacki getting things started from the beginning of the play till the end.
And if there's someone you're going to throw a hammer to, might as well be a 6'8" Polish fella. One of the best in the game. If he's not throwing him, he's catching him. He's still got it. Michael Kelly throwing that really nice hammer. And, I mean, what probably doesn't come across for the people at home is this wind is blustery. That's not an easy hammer to throw. He was throwing directly into that wind. And he gave it a bit of air, too. It wasn't a flat one. He knew he needed to put it up high to Tom's advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. The other throw, which I was really impressed with, was Nathan Payne, who was just on this sideline here. The first dump looked off, but set a little bit far back so that it opened up that flick cross dump.
I think you're being kind to suggest that was by design. But the thing that was nice from Payne, from the 2 count, he was, because he saw throw up the line, like a big gainer, but throwing the line, he's like, no, we're not going to score the goal from here.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
You're totally right. That whole thing opened it up, got him into the midfield. I think it was a little bit agricultural.
Fortuitous.
But really good commitment to it, as Chile now going downwind can throw a big floater back of the end zone, and Manly are way too deep. They've got to adjust. They start to now. Moss marshalling the stack under. They do get the first throw off as Chile. It looks like they're throwing some kind of junk. Mullets move up through, and they get the turn again.
Through the hands. And a quick flip for the score for Chile. They're up and about, getting that first break, then a second.
So Dave O'Brien now coaching. I think there's no timeout yet, but if we see a third, I reckon we will.
Anson yesterday waited for 4 love though.
Why?
So.
Well, I'm going to have a chat to him actually. Why would you do it? Anson, the coaching book clearly says 3-0, burn a timeout. Part of the rules. As we look at the really stifling defense, just did enough. Thought they saw something open up.
That's set up by that fantastic pull.
That was lightning. And as soon as that.
5.
All right, so let's see if the Mullets now can put one in. It's a bummer to go down 2-0, but like we said, there is an upwind, downwind. So they had the upwinder scored on them. You knew the downwinder was more likely than not coming.
Yeah, Chile coming out with a junk again. Plenty of pressure. Manly go for a massive huck all the way downfield. Couldn't quite jump it in. Can they hold?
Patience.
Just waiting patient, looking behind for the dump. Safe and secure.
That's Moss.
Chile have transitioned across to a match now. Little pick called. Plenty of pressure in that initial junk look, but now transitioning to match, seeing that it's coming into the red zone. All right, let's see if Manly can slot it in. Going down 3 breaks early is not going to be appealing.
No, I'd say less than ideal.
No, playing small ball at the moment. Still plenty of pressure on the match defense. He goes a tall disc, and Rogacki, oh! And a layout bit off the scraps.
Noah Moss, we've called his name a couple of times. Tom Rogacki, playing for 30 years, doesn't know to catch his Ds. I will say, pretty good bid. Pretty good bid. As we see, just way too much air given to it. Tom, big one. Moss right there for the scraps.
I mean, I don't think Chile can be unhappy with that defense.
No
they
way.
Forced a high throw, speculative. They had hands, they had bodies there, but just got a little bit lucky reading those scraps well by Moss.
Well, and that's, you know, when you play for 30 years, you get to see, you get like a game awareness or a Frisbee IQ, whatever you want to call it. Tom knew that count was getting high. So he starts to look away from his man and goes, you know what, that's a too risky an option, particularly in that wind. I'm going to go where the disc is. And he knew that one was coming out, made a bid at it. Got a piece, but not enough, which means Manly now on the board, 2-1.
Yeah, they'll be pretty happy to at least get their account opened for their first game of today. All right, so Manly coming in on defense now. Let's see what their defensive line can bring. It is a downwind offensive point for Chile, though.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we'll see Chile's offense. And it's going to be a reasonably short pull. That one won't make the brick mark. And they're straight into it. Pentland, Jasper Pentland, moves it up. And now Pentland getting it back. Nice little give go. They're already on their end zone line, just like that. Centres, another good centre. That's French, James French.
Ooh.
Don't think I think that was Caston, but Caston's going to call a foul. And his man was already off. And he goes, it couldn't have been me that fouled you. I'm all the way down here. Morrissey and Caston going to have a chat.
I think the disc might have been already past him.
I think you're spot on. Game advisor is right there, so he can give their perspective, which has been called on now. Retracted call. Yeah, probably for the best. All right.
So Manly managing to get that turn. And as they've got to work it up all the way, have to backtrack a little bit. Chile forcing them behind. Doesn't like the open option, doesn't like the second open option, but goes to the inside, and that just bounces in and out.
Just turned over on him.
Yeah, let's see if Hot Chili can get organised. You can hear the instructions being yelled for their setup play. Looks like an ISO.
Caston picks up, cycles it through. Riley Wood moves it back. Stack needs to adjust. They've gone back 3 times in a row. Stack is slowly adjusting now. Caston. Oh, and there's a foul. That's Harrison White with the disc, went to throw, got some contact. It's going to get checked back in, and they're in. Lipari's at the front of the stack. Lipari cuts. Lipari goes up. Little man can't get up that high. Eventually does a bit of a handstand to get back up. But Manly are going to have another crack at it. So this is positive for Manly. At least they're keeping Chile's offensive unit out there.
Yeah, definitely. There's a call somewhere.
Yeah, the pick, I think, coming out of the stack. As we see, yeah, this one just getting up on Lipari a little bit. Then he does a little handspring, round off. I think he was a gymnast actually, Lipari.
Yeah, he's got the springs.
Well, he's got a gymnast kind of rig.
Again, Chile forcing Manly backwards. The stack really have to adjust because they're so far away. There's not really any options. Gets a little one through the handle set.
Hello.
And now there goes a big. Oh, ooh, a foul called. That was really arcing over his head, made it difficult. He got into pretty good position to read it. But probably some contact on their hands there.
I mean, the question was there any contact? I didn't know if there was.
Let's have a look at the replay here.
They're going to call on the advisors pretty quick. I think it won't be a contest.
So awkward when you're falling backwards as well.
Yeah, okay. All right, uncontested foul I think it will be. But how was the throw?
It was massive. I think bit of let's just get it out of here.
Yeah, I mean, Chile, and we're going to burn a timeout. We'll see our first time out of the game. I like that from Manly. They've worked it up. They've got it to their brick mark to break back upwind. Good on them.
Yeah.
And I think Chile probably caught a little bit surprised. Certainly was. I wasn't, too sure about what kind of, outside of Moss, who we've seen a bit of, in terms of power throwers upwind. I didn't think they kind of had that in their range. So,
yeah, I think seeing that turn early on their red zone, I think they were like, let's just get it out of here. You got to receive in the end zone. I think, fortunately, the stack managed to set a little bit closer, which actually opened up that backspace.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
So Manly, although starting a little bit slow, making the adjustments.
I'm going to duck out there quickly, Avril, and have a listen to see what the message is.
Sounds good.
Mindful moments, learning ancient traditions. Golden hours spent pressing pause on time. Afternoons whiled away absorbing wisdom. And treasure hunts that never disappoint. Whatever brings you to Ballarat, you'll always return remade.
All right, we're back in. Manly with a chance to break back upwind. Everything to play for. They've had to recede a little bit of ground. It's Don Doe. Moves it up. Ernie Tao. Now they're right there. Nice little gainer. Goes out and around, and that's a goal.
Massive. Just working it up that small, skinny sideline. Manly get it done.
That's bold. That's bold. Throwing that outside in, as we've said before, that wind is directly in. And outside in there, you just see that just so often go down. Put enough angle on it, just stayed in.
Just flattened out to pretty much vertical blade at the end of that throw. Check that out.
Hanlon Zhang to Joseph Morrissey. 24-6. It's a goal, right? So they're on.
Oh, you'll take it,
I wouldn't call it the highest percentage, but you know what? If that's what they work and that's what they train, and what you did see was a connection between the players. He kind of did that arrowhead cut where he came in at an angle and then went straight back out. It works.
Yeah, difficult throw, but he trusted his thrower. All right, so Manly peg it back to a piece now. Hot Chili having a hot start. Manly clawing it back. We'll see what Chili can do. They've got a bit more in the tank to level up.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. I mean, Chile, like you say, Chile came out with all the energy. Now Manly have a bit back. Like their heads were down 2-0. But now we're back into it. Big shout out to El Copa tuning in from New Zealand. Hello.
And I guess with the breaks as well, now the offense, it's an upwind.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting if the D can get the block and then get it all the way down.
Yeah.
It's really making it quite difficult for the offense just starting from the upwind position.
All right, and Chile are in. They look like they're going into some kind of split stack or a horror. Kelly, massive gainer over to Aussie. James Osmond. They've moved it across, working it really nicely. Harrison White with it. Little jab step cut. Does the shoulder check, does Regan Turner. Dump goes up the line, gets it. Able to swing it back out. That was the big one. That's what they want to do. That's to Michael Kelly. Kelly cycles it up into the middle. Back to Aussie. Moving it up now, Riley Wood. He was the one that got it off the line. Doing really well.
Whoa.
Kelly. That's up.
Got on the ground.
Oh,
maybe a ground strip.
Yep.
Yeah, ground strip.
There's a nod that goes. I think that's Don Doe. Don Doe got a fan club on the stream, the Don Doe fan club. Manly now with a chance to put a break in.
Oh, second bid. Managed to keep the disc up.
That's Dean Milne, keeps it alive.
Oh, another one getting on the ground.
They're chance in their hand, aren't they?
Oh, and this one doesn't go to plan. just a cold drop there. Coming in with a bit of heat, though.
Well, they were riding the lightning, weren't they? Low throw, fast throw, far throw.
Yeah, that downward angle is not easy to control.
Caston moves out to swing, gets it to Lipari. Lipari.
Oh, low throws, really asking a lot of the players to get down.
Especially Aussie, that's a long way down.
100%.
Great cut. And this one goes, and it's long, and it should be good. And it's a goal.
Chile score. That was White.
Regan Turner.
Lovely play by Chile, especially because Manly got a couple of attempts at it, but Chile steadfast, played really tough defense to get it back, forced some really rough throws. See how many were down on the turf and saved. Whew.
And that's a lovely, nice weighted throw. Nice bid from the Mullet.
Yeah, so Harrison White, I think that might be 2 assists now. Doing well for Chile.
Manly well and truly in it, getting the turns, getting an opportunity. Didn't see it that time, but like we said earlier, compared to how the game started, where you were looking down the barrel of 3-zip, certainly raised their energy, got back in, a few big throws to turn things around as well.
Yeah, Chile will be happy with that because we've been talking about the wind. This is the upwind direction, so I think they'll be pretty pleased. They managed to secure it. Now getting the pressure onto Manly, see if they can hold fast and get this upwind.
Big pull. It's going to come back in right on the cone. That's a great pull. They've got to move it out quick. Chile, an excellent run down. They are down here. Manly are right at the back of their end zone. They're going to have to work it up. Nice patience from Moss. Chile playing a 1-3-2-1, a very aggressive puppy fence zone. Moves it through. They're at the front of the end zone. They're out of their end zone now, thanks to Moss. Jeez. Nervy moments.
Junk's working really well for Chile, slowing down the Manly offense, having to play small ball through, mostly relying on their handlers. Another low disc, having to get down. Not much on offer upfield, so again, just the handler movement with a bit of heat and pressure from the dump mark.
It's transition now.
Yeah, looks like it's a match.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's getting in trouble. High stall count. Oh, luckily over the top throw works out. Now quickly working it through. A big shot goes up. Oh, well read. Defender blindsided. Now Manly off to the races, surely. Getting into the red zone now. Looks like Chile are putting on the heat, keeping it pinned to the handler movement. There's a lot of pointing.
Moss doesn't have a dump.
Now one's forthcoming and come across. Well done.
Oh,
Manly are pumped.
Gives it a little bit too. Gives it a nice little spike. He's up and about. Moss didn't have a dump, but maintained an excellent composure. He always looks pretty chilled. Open stance, backhand. And then here we go, 1, 2, boom.
Yeah, I think Manly will be very pleased with that, especially given that they started from the very back of their end zone off a fantastic pull by Chile, working their way up in that upwind,
It's a good
maintaining
point.
possession. Sorry, that was a clean hold.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, again, from a coaching perspective, if you're Manly, you want to make sure the players acknowledge that. Like, we've worked it up, upwind, from the very back line of the end zone. Without a turn.
Yep, clean.
All right, so we're on serve. It's trading of the upwinds now. 3 apiece. We got a game. All right, Manly now with the pull. That one is a big one. It might go out the back. No, it's going to curl back, and this one will be in the back of the end zone. Manly a bit slower on the rundown than Chile. Pentland playing that axis role. So Riley Wood Pentland doing a lot, trying to come back through the cup as the popper. Instead, it's James French. Back to Riley. They get through now. Caston's got it through the cup. A nice little positional pop there. Saw a gap in the fence. Caston. So Chile's starting to send their handlers up through the back of the cup. See there, they can come up, take a step, try and adjust, find a space in the cup.
Transition to match now. I can hear find.
Pentland free. So someone's loose. That's always the risk you run when you play a transition. They've got players out. They should be able to score from here. Caston right on the end zone line, but they've still got Riley out the back without a mark. Mark comes to him now, so there'll be a count.
Stall count's getting high.
Caston a nice pop, a cut away from the disc. And it looks like there'll be a call. So Chile have a good arrangement here. They're set up pretty well. The stack is pretty tight. They do have a dump. It's Riley Wood, but it looks like he's about to go up the line. His mark is taking away the upper line. Riley goes anyway. That allows the around to Pentland. Pentland, the lefty. Moves it out wide. Gets the little inside out to Pentland, who grabs it. Little give go.
Chile will be really happy. Upwind to score. Very clean offense from both now. 2
upwind holds, yep.
So both teams starting with the junk in the first half and then transitioning to match. Pretty calm feel across the field from both teams, hey?
Yeah, I mean, they've kind of settled into it now. Like, they know that this is just going to be a little bit of a grind. And I still think if I'd rather be in anyone's camp, it's probably Chile's. I think they look a little bit more... it just looks like they've got more options.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like Manly, they've had to let a few go that are like, this will bust. You know what I mean? Whereas as Chile are being really disciplined, I think moving it into the centre of the field. There haven't been many high counts. We've seen high counts from Manly.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. I think Chile have utilised like moving through the cup as well as using the width really well. So it looks like they've, I guess, got a few more ways to move through that zone, whereas Manly are looking a little bit trapped and forced into doing what Chile want them to do, although they have had some success.
A lot of support coming through for Manly on the chat. If you want to get involved, hit up that YouTube. Just press that subscribe button and then you can get involved.
Lovely pull, curving out the field and then back in.
Done that a couple of times now.
And again, Chile bring out a junk already with a fair bit of heat. Manly looking pretty stifled, using their handlers to just get little passes through the cup. Yeah, now they look for some width.
Yeah, Moss is taking a leaf out of the Chile book coming up. This is the handlers coming from behind, going, whatever you can do, I can do better.
Oh, that's it.
And so on cue.
So again, Manly, not really a lot of options. I think everyone's getting a little bit sucked into the play and not providing width to really go behind and around. Now they go behind, but there's no around option. So getting stuck again. Now they go across. It's a low disc, but they make it work. Now they're coming across to this side, spreading the defense a little bit, opening up a little bit more space. The handlers really having to work pretty hard with the legs. Now they're using the width, and now they get a shot through. Saved, getting low. Aggressive in the middle, transition over to match now. All right, working the underspace. Let's see, can Manly get this upwind hold? Still clean, is looking for options. A lot of heat on that. A nice switch for the upline cut. Across to the break side again, just using the small ball at the moment. Lots of fakes. Oh, and then that pressure from hot Chile. Just a bit too hot for Manly to handle.
Fair bit of body into it. But anyway, initiated by both players, so I think that's why you don't see the call.
Yep.
Good for the goose, good for the gander, etc. Anyway, Chile have a chance to put in the downwind break. Tommy sees one, he shoots it, it's way too deep. Can't be shooting that on this field. Tom Rigaki has some feedback on the sideline for that. No, let's not capture him, Mike. I think we might get in trouble. Tom absolutely steaming. Noah got a chance again now in what I would say was probably Manly's best offense prior to that turn.
Absolutely.
They were keeping in the middle. One goes.
Big. Oh, got on the ground but just fell out. And just checking it hasn't been tacoed. All right, so both teams now playing a little bit positionally.
Yep.
Big hucks just to make sure that the other team have to work it up.
Yeah, you don't mind seeing it. All right, so Payne goes for the under at the front, can't get it. Instead, they recycle. I think that's Pupko. Moves it up. Turner.
Lines up for a big, and the hucks come off. He's got 2 receivers, 2 defenders. Oh, well read.
OB.
There's a out call. It's going to be...
Nice. Good play from... No, that's not a call.
Hang on, there's an injury call.
Now, I wonder if this will go back because I don't think it should.
I'm not sure when the injury occurred, whether it was before it came back in.
It was, but none of the Chile players were paying attention. It didn't affect that play, you know, as we have a look. Yeah, 2 feet, landed 2 feet at the same time. If he had managed to get one back, he would have been okay.
Can't blame him for just focusing on the catch, but it's always a bit rough when you've beat 3 people.
Look, if you don't focus on that and then you land in, it doesn't really matter where you land. Yeah. Okay, so Moss is going to have to do it again. Moving it from the cone this time. It was a heads-up play before the injury call. He got it off the line nice and quickly, which I thought was great. But anyway, he had to do it again. He's got it now on his end zone line. Not a lot of help back, but can dump it back. A little bit of give-go action. And Chile really collapsing. And Avril, as you said before, I don't think the Manly downfield are doing their handlers any fate as you see the turn.
In and out of the hands.
They're just getting sucked into it. Tom's come on. I think he was the guy that came on with the injury.
Injury sub. Oh, that's a beautiful.
Nice break.
After that hard work, Chile managing to get the D couple of shots and then securing the catch.
Yeah, Nathan Payne to Blesser, I think it was. Luke Blesser, 23. But yeah, just before that turn, I was just saying, like, you mentioned that they're downfield getting sucked in towards the disc, and that just enables all the Manly defenders downfield to collapse in, and so you just feel like you're playing on a much smaller field.
Yeah, I would like to see some adjustments from Manly, potentially some of their poppers really just moving that cup, because the cup are just in, and there's no pressure for them to have to open up.
Yep.
So if the poppers can get a little bit more active, make the cup kind of collapse in on the poppers, that makes the handler movement easier. Otherwise, the poppers just get the disc.
Yeah, agreed. Welcome, F1 Royalty in the chat. Esteban Ocon has entered the chat saying, let's go Manly. If Chile set a zone, they win just like the Mudlarks in 2022. I don't think we want to talk about 2022, but thank you, Esteban. Good luck in China. Sprint coming up in 2 hours' time.
As Ragaki goes up with a big upwind pull.
That's a monster.
Yeah, pins Manly in their end zone, although they move it up to their line now. Having to work really hard to get that under disc, and a big one goes up. We've got... Oh, and Manly, he just slams it just down.
Did all the hard work.
Yeah. He was in great position.
Tommy Duncan now fakes the backhand, gets it into the midfield. Tom Rigaki with it at the brick mark. He's looking long. He's 6 long. He's going. He's thrown a flick. It's a 2-on-1, but it's to the advantage of the Chile player who grabs it, scores the goal, gives it a little bit of action. David Evans.
What a way to get up, David Evans. Perfectly weighted. A flick huck by Tom Rigaki.
Tom was not throwing that anywhere else.
No.
He looked, there was probably a solid 3 count.
No, when 2 defenders hot on his tail, he did really well to time that jump, get up, stay focused. What a grab.
That's a really big point. I mean, that's real sliding door stuff. One bounces off the Manly receiver. And now...
straight away, gets it up the other end.
Nice work from, I think it was Moss and Manly, kind of peeled off the back to make it a 2-on-1, but throw's just too strong.
Yep. Yeah, Gack throwing that big pull to pin Manly in the back. When he gets it back, throws a massive flick hook again into the end zone.
.36 the score. Chile jumped out the blocks. Manly reeled them back, but now Chile responded. So it's back on Manly. They're going to have to score an upwinder here. Otherwise, they're looking down the barrel of going a half at 3.
Having a bit of trouble with that pull bouncing up. Again, that junk look by Chile has been so effective. Let's see if the Manly Poppers can get things moving and open up that cup. Trapped on the sideline. Oh, just a small ball to maintain possession, and it goes for a blade cross field. Oh, in and out of the hands again. I feel like that's happened more than Manly would like in the last minute, but a hand block. A way to get the disc back after a disappointing drop. Nice attack as Manly are moving things up. A third of the field to work with. Although Chile collapsing in. They do well to get across Manly. And that's a score. Ooh, that was a quick couple of turns and then a score.
As you say, though, all instigated off that hand block. Massive hand block, really well anticipated. And then that second last throw, I want to highlight that because that's one that opened the whole field up. We've seen from time to time Manly kind of getting a bit of tunnel vision. But this throw here, there we go. Well done from the dump to pull his defender out.
Yes.
And then this, the goal, didn't think it was, didn't know it was. He was probably playing to the white lines.
The white line, yeah.
It'll happen.
Yeah,
not often you get dedicated ultimate fields, so you're playing with the soccer markings. We're obviously playing to the black lines for anyone new to the game.
No, did really well given the upwind direction. I think he kept the disc nice and low, made it really, made it look really easy, although it was actually a really difficult throw.
So we are putting out a missing persons report for Mitch Field. If Mitch Field is in fact playing for Chile or wearing a Chile shirt or feels like taking the actual pitch at any point, Mitch Field, please report to the commentary tent. Not sure where Mitch is, Jake, as soon as we find him. I think he's on the far sideline. Well, he's definitely on the sideline. He's not on the actual deck. As Chile now working it up. And goes to Pentland. Pentland, looks like Chile playing a Horo. Looks like a bit of a mixed line. Lipari, Pentland, Gack on it. Gack not cutting under, even though he's being given that under space. That tells you something. Gack now goes to get engaged, gets the disc. There's a long one going. He thinks about it, instead throws the wide flick. Well done, picked off the bootlaces as they shoot long. That's a really nice shot, has to come in.
Oh, beautiful.
It works. That's Frenchie, James French.
And White with another assist to that same end zone.
He's throwing a few, isn't he? And yeah, and you're right. They're all the upwinders doing the hard stuff. Chile looking good, starting to pull away a little bit now. Nice pick up this one. That's not easy. That's right off the bootlaces. And another good throw. We've seen 3 or 4 work really well. It's French, James French. As there's a second timeout called, so this one a bit more of a strategic one for those new to the game. You get 3 timeouts per game. You can use per team per game. A team can use a maximum of 2.5. So if you don't use it in the first half, you lose it. So bit of a strategic call. I'm guessing it was from Manly. So we'll take a short break and be back with Chile looking to take half.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
And we're back in after timeout. Gack on Chile looking for another massive pull. There's plenty of float on that one.
It'll work.
It's coming back. It's coming back. All right, just at the front of the end zone. That's where Manly's got to work it all the way. Looks like Chile going for a match this time instead of the junk. A big shot goes up. Manly in hot pursuit. Great space. A small flip to the end, and that's a quick score for Manly.
Massive throw, really well weighted, died late, but the job had been done. That keeps him in touch. Moss, again, the danger player with the hot hand, sends it nice and early. Great cut, fantastic separation, nice peel-off bid. And they're looking for a new disc because that one has been absolutely tacoed from old mate.
All right, so Manly, that timeout doing them plenty of good. Really quick score. And the upwind as well.
Can confirm Mitch Field is around. He's ready to go. He's got a very clean jersey on at the moment, number 2. Not seeing too much action. But Jake, the feedback, appreciate your comments on the feed. They've been fed through to Chile leadership, so we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, Manly, not going away. They've been challenged a couple of times, once at the start of the game, managed to break to get back into it. Moss still putting the team on his back a little bit and making sure that, those long shots and those long threats keep coming. Let's see if they can convert the downwind advantage. Pull a little bit short by the standards of this wind. You'd want to probably see it in the end zone. But they do a good job of locking down, and they've got a little bit of pressure on early. They moved it up to Pentland. Pentland back to Riley. It's Riley Wood. All right, Caston talking to what he wants to see the stack to do. Wood, Pentland through now, back to Pentland. He's very good popper, little lefty popper. Old Jasper coming up, moving through his French. French to Riley. Riley out to Lipari. Lipari has Aussie if he wants him, doesn't use him, wants instead to go back. Throws a big one back, half a sniff to Caston. Caston moves it out wide. So this is what Chile have done really well all game, is using the width. Caston, Riley Wood. Riley Wood a low one, but to a low fella in Josh Lipari. Lipari looks to step out, has a big shot through and takes it. Great vision from him. Pentland gets to Aussie. Aussie back to Lipari. Big jump, big goal, big half. Hot Chili take it 8-5.
Fantastic by Hot Chili. Initially just using the small popping, the small resets, using their legs to try and get some momentum through the cup, and then later on using the width of the field, really opening up those bigger shots.
As we said, this is the shot there, the Lipari one. I can tell you on the sideline here, the Manly Mullets reaction, like, oh, they've left that. They knew that was the one shot they couldn't really afford to let through. Great vision from Josh. We're going to take a short break. We're going to listen to the message from the coaches out of the half and be back shortly with the second half action.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Okay, and welcome back as we have Pup Cam getting ready for the second half. Good doggy. Manly Mullets are going to be pulling from the downwind end as they look to try and close a 5-8 deficit.
Yeah, it'll be a tricky one, given that they're starting on defence this half.
It's the double whammy. It's
Yeah.
D from they're going upwind.
Chile have got a pretty tall line.
Could be taller with Mitch Field on it, but anyway. Feedback was given to Chile leadership, so my suggestion has been taken. All right, pull goes up. It's going to actually move back on them a little bit, so it's going to be a short pull. It'll almost be at halfway, unfortunately, for Manly.
At least there was enough load on there to
French
get down.
free.
Didn't recognise it quick enough.
Moves it in. Osmond. Osmond wants one long instead. Gets more disciplined. Throws the short flick to Pentland. Pentland, he unleashes a wide flick, but this one's going to go right into the breadbasket of the Mullet. And they will have a chance to move it up and put an early break in to really dictate the tone of the second half. Sorry. They let a long one go. Aussie had called a pick, but that didn't affect. I'm not sure that'll affect. Fantastic put. Great separation, but also a great throw. So the discussion now will be as to whether that pick affected the throw. So in ultimate, you can't use another player to try and get any kind of separation. If that happens, the play stops. However, if that incident didn't affect what was happening around the disc, then you can bring it back. Sorry, you can keep it where it was, which is probably what I felt should have happened. But anyway, the players out there know better. Fantastic throw. I think that was Don Doe, part of the, I think he's the president of the Don Doe fan club. And he sees it and he throws it again. This one coming in a bit harder. Had to get up high.
Just a bit over his head with that slight blade at the tail end of the throw. Chile now having to work all the way up. Nice undercut. Fakes the first look. Now looking for his dump. And using the width of the field as they've been doing really well, Chile. A nice gainer.
Big gainer.
Oh, big one. Holsters. Chile is staying really calm and settled. They know that possession is key.
Good break.
Working really well to get open on those easy unders, making it easy for the thrower. Nice safe throws. Great grab. Osmond, I believe. Knocking on the doorstep now. Chile are building. Can they get sorted out here? Oh, just a sweep across on the open dump. Upline doesn't like the look of that, but crossfield break and Chile score to open their account in the second half.
Yeah, really patient work from Lipari. He was sitting at the top of the stack. He saw that his opponent peeled off to take the way that there was a strike kind of going open side. So the best thing, he was like, well, I'm going to go to where my defender didn't.
Yep. You see it here. So get the open side dump first. And then here we go, the upline strike here. And that just opens up that breakthrough.
Nice work from Lipari. Good vision. Was that Caston, I think, throwing the goal? Yeah, would have been.
Yep. Good call.
Dondo still getting plenty of love on the live chat. Two good throws. I think the second one was actually better, but the receiver just got suckered in a little bit.
Yeah, the throw itself.
Yeah. All right, Chile pulling up wind. Nathan Payne on the line, number 4, wants to give a shout out to his mum, Leanne. Happy birthday, Leanne. He owes me a beer for this, but a price easily paid.
It's a lovely floaty pull put the pressure straight on Manly. All the defense set up. Oh, plenty of pressure on that catch. Lots of fakes.
Yeah.
Just a small dump back to maintain possession for Manly. The connection between the handlers and cutters aren't really happening yet. It's all handler, handler, handler at the moment. The cutter's ready to set too deep to make those long throws an option. Just cramming it up this sideline at the moment. Or having to go backwards. Has to get on the ground, but makes it work. Losing yards. The pressure from Chile really ramping up. Fakes are big. Sold the defender through, but again, loses yards but maintains possession, and now they get a little bit of a gainer to the far sideline. Oh, and a bladey throw and a great grab. Manly, little flip. Woo. They'll be breathing a sigh of relief after that one.
Great work as soon as they swung it out wide. That's where everything happened. I mean, you mentioned it here, Avril. They were stuck on this sideline, having to recycle. They get a big break off. They get the big swing around. Yes, Moss had to get horizontal to keep the point alive. Fantastic bid. But the fact that they had that, look how much separation's there on their defenders. Nice, big bid.
Absolutely, and there was a couple of shots to get that behind jump losing yards. The first time they didn't swing it across, had to come back to this far sideline. The second time they actually managed to complete the swing, and that was what opened up and managed to get them the score.
Moss playing really well. Nice bid. Not so sure about the push pass, but anyway. Apparently his first push pass in 5 years, so we'll forgive him for that then. Let's see if Manly can get the upwind break. The pull is a better one. This one's going to go past the brick mark, so a chance to apply a bit more early pressure. Caston goes to Pentland. Pentland to Osmond. Osmond looks into Lipari. A little bit high, but Lipper gets it. He's all good. Back to White now. White to Caston. So Chile using all of their players on their offensive unit to get this. Lipari bobbles, still has it. Moves it through to Pentland. Pentland. Miscommunication with Riley.
Unfortunate one for Chile. Manly get a sniff at this upwind break now. Oh, we've got a big shot go up. His receiver's in good space. Oh, huge by Chile to get up. I think that's Osmond. And now there's a call.
Good positioning from Aussie. Got in front there. Both players going high, going early. It's nice to see. All right, Chile now, they've got a long shot deep. I think it's French. He's going to have to go. He's going to have to get on his bike. He does. Got it at the end zone line, taps it. That means absolutely nothing, but he throws the goal to Josh Lipari.
Geez, what a difference it makes. You've got a big hut goes up, defended, and then straight back the other way. Carbon copy. Man, I think Manly will be ruining their chances on that one.
It stings that one.
Yep.
It stings that one. You had it at halfway. You had it past halfway.
You had the hut go up, just one-on-one, lost out. French really did well to run that down. Blading a little bit towards him at the end, but timed that perfectly. Great put.
Yeah, I initially thought early on, I was like, is that going to be past him? But he got his skates on.
So that was French assist to Lipari. As you said, Andy, doing well to use all of their offensive line, making sure they're keeping the movement and the flow going. Whereas Manly, although they are scoring, their movement and their flow, it looks really stagnant. They're having to work a lot harder, it seems, than Chile.
Yeah, I mean, that was what we were saying earlier. Like, Chile seemed to have a second and a third option, whereas Manly, it's a bit of hit and hope kind of thing. It's coming off, which is what makes them so exciting to watch. But now, I think where you saw in the first half, a few of those long shots coming off, you're seeing kind of 2 or 3 now get contested or get deed. So 6-10, big point. Manly need to just do the job to put this one in and then keep the contest from their D-line, particularly upwind.
And that's a lovely pull. You can see the intent from Hot Chili getting down on defense. Manly just looking a little bit nervous, not quite convincing really in their cuts.
Yeah, the wind has kicked up quite a lot too, Avril.
Oh, and that's a high throw. You're going to get a bit on it. Oh, way to climb. Fantastic effort. And Manly's moving it up. They're actually getting in flow now. Needing to reset, using the width. No continuation though. Oh, and a flick pass. Now using the width, getting it up. What can they do here? Looking for that little dump. Oh, and that throw did not come out how he wanted. Making his teammate bid, but not to be. Manly, gosh, they were looking really good in flow. What a screamer. So Manly forcing Chile to retreat a little bit. Ooh, lovely inside shot. Again, utilising that break side space. Opening up the field. Back to Kelly. Oh, lovely undercut. Great attack on the disc by Evans. Him and Ragaki have been working really well together this game. You can see them go for the deep. Oh, fantastic read. Well received by Regan Turner. Gak just keeps putting those up, trusting his receivers.
That's a huge point for Chile. Makes life very difficult for Manly. But I would say some nice highlights from Manly still. I mean, they didn't score the point, but still some good highlights. I thought 23 for Manly, Matt Diggins. I thought he'd done enough to get in the space, but wasn't able to contest it.
No, a number 5 on Manly. Unfortunately, we haven't got a name on the team sheet here, but way to get up.
No, and he's your man. It's just call him Spiky, because
Spiky.
he was giving it plenty. He's caught a couple goals and absolutely tacoed the disc. All right. So now Manly needs to do it upwind. As we mentioned, the wind's starting to kick up a little bit now. We've had a discussion with Mitch Field from the Chile sideline, said that, and I quote, they're keeping me fresh for finals. So, old strat. As we see, this pull will just come back in. A nice one, front of the end zone. Goes to Moss. Chile collapsing. It looks like it's a bit more of a match. It's a match, but with poachers. You can see Kelly standing right at the front of the stack. They move it over to Godfrey. Godfrey, nice one inside to Moss. Cops a little bit of attention on the mark.
No, it's a zone.
Yeah, it has collapsed back in, hasn't it? Players keeping their head on a swivel in the defense, which is what you want to see. Moss makes sure of it.
I think Chile wise to bring out this junk when they came out in match before, although now breaking through Manly.
Continuing to send cutters up from behind. Moss with it.
Calling, have a look. You think the transition's coming?
I mean, if you don't, you're just going to keep throwing those into your handles into space from behind the disc. It has collapsed now, you're right.
Yep.
Ryan Liu moves it up. Looks for Moss. There's a miscommunication.
Oh, great save.
Is there a call? there's going to be a discussion as to whether he was in or out. So the question is if he's in or out. Your game advisor was right there. So no
They're calling it in. They're calling it a
calling
goal.
it a goal.
Yep.
All right, Mullets did what they had to do.
It's a great save by Matt Diggins. Way to get on the ground. Steady head to throw the assist. A bit of a deathly silence across the field now, Andy. Everyone just trying to gather together.
Yeah, I just think that point before last, the Chili's last break, you know, I think Manly could see a path forward to making it a real contest. It's still game on, but you can feel the air go out of the balloon a little bit.
Yeah. Looks in on the replay, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And game advisor right there as well, providing perspective.
Yeah, I think that was, that put it to bed. All right, so let's see if Manly can get a bit of a D run on. Try and take it up to Chile, ratchet up the pressure a little bit. You see everyone staying toasty. Sun is out, lovely day, much nicer than yesterday, still fresh. See, pull ready to go up, Manly. It's a little bit of 360 action. Big pull. This one will work. Front of the end zone. He's touched it. Cycles it through. Pentland to Caston. Caston holds. Instead throws the break backhand around. That goes to Harrison White. White thrown a bunch of goals this game. Looks for the break backhand, but that one's to no one. There was a miscommunication with Caston. He turned blind away from him, so he thought Miles was still going up the line. So a bit of a miscommunication. Let's see what Manly can do. Moves around. Tam throws the inside flick, but that one is a miscommunication, and Caston's going to look to try and strike quickly. Goes to Osmond. Osmond throws the flick back, retreats a little bit. That's to Riley Wood. Riley come back to Caston. Caston has one going deep, and it's Aussie, but it's not going to get there.
Oh, he does, but the disc just bobbles out.
Was dying on him very quick. Yep. Manly now. There's someone striking deep, thinks about it, instead goes to look under. No real options. The offense has broken down a little bit here. He's going to have to just put this up. He does. It's a stall 9 hit and hope. There are 2 players under it, but French should have the sit. Looks for scraps, no.
Well done by French. He's a tall fella.
Yeah, big
made
body.
use of his full use of his height there against the 2 Manly players.
The big frame as well. Put himself where the drop zone of the disc is going to be.
Absolutely, yeah. Protected that drop zone.
Riley Wood now has power position. Instead moves out wide. Moves over to Jasper.
It's a call.
I think it's an injury.
It's rubbing his eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there'll be an injury call. So an injury, but he's going to stay on. You can stay on if you call an injury. Last time I checked, if you called an injury due to contact, you would be able to stay on. But if
because it's a contact call, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yep. So now the players just discussing kind of what happened, making sure that they both agree on what the rules are.
Looks like this is coming back. So the players just reset into position. Pentland to bring it in. All right, Pentland bringing it across. Oh, bit of heat on the catch. But Caston gesturing. Now engages his dump. See if Chile can set here. Still on Caston. They haven't moved too many meters. Indeed, they retreat.
The mark and dump intensity's gone up a notch from Manly. It's great.
Absolutely. Still in the same space. Now moving it across a little bit. Harrison White, Caston, really anchoring this offense.
You can tell he wants that inside break flick real bad. There it is.
There it is. Oh, is there going to be another bid? No. The wind just pushing that away.
He just wanted it, he just wanted it, you could tell. Hey, I'm going to throw this, even if it doesn't complete. So Manly up top corner. But again, their offense breaks down a bit. This time they bail out and it works.
Oh! A lot of heat on that one, but Manly maintaining possession, now working the underspace. There's a big one coming. It is. Oh, just tapped off the hands there. Fast and furious from Manly. Doesn't quite work out. You can see everyone's gassed, hands on their knees.
Yeah, this is a longer point. Which I don't think is a bad thing because it's Manly's defense, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so Caston walks it up. Chile looking horror and he's burned a timeout. Makes sense.
Yep, good call.
Why not? All right, we'll take a short break. Try and get some messages out of the huddles. We'll be back shortly.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
All right. We're back out of the timeout. Chile's setting up in a horo. We've had a chance to chat things over. The message from Chile, at least in that timeout, was their flow looks really good until they hit the red zone. That's when everything starts to break down a bit. So that's going to be their focus area. As Osmond has it. Osmond starts moving it up. White goes to Caston. Caston getting a bit of attention on the mark and calls the foul. Uncontested. All right, it'll be checked back in. I think Chile's still mostly trying to stick with this horo. Pick called from against Aussie. They're going to allow him to have it. Just catch up. Still discussions in the stack about what's constituting fair contact or not. It's causing a bit of a delay. Back in now. Aussie goes for the dump. Caston really well covered. Has to move it back to Riley. Riley well covered but gets it. Aussie working overtime now in that front of the stack. Gets to Pentland. Pentland throws a little flick to Caston. Lovely up the line, really aggressive jump. Goes the triple jump, right on the end zone line. Caston looks to go up the line, instead goes back. There's going to be a foul call. He reckons he pushed into him here. There's a couple of discussions starting to come out about contact now, particularly off the disc, not so much around it. So Caston's point will be, you've stopped me from running into you, so I've now run the other way. I think this is kind of a byproduct. I don't know if that's been a deliberate message from Manly, but we've noticed that the intensity on the mark, and particularly the intensity on the dump, has really stepped up a bit. So they're going to get a game advisor involved just to, I guess, clarify what the rules are.
Yeah, it's always interesting when we're getting to 73 minutes and the game has largely been free of too many calls and starting to crop up now.
A little bit of shake and bake. Yeah, you're right. You just want the game to, I guess, finish the way it started. Ultimate is a self-refereed sport. It's a sport with a lot of rules. So long as the interpretation of those rules is applied equally and consistently, then I think everyone's pretty happy. So, Chile, get that up, Winder.
Yeah, I think Manly will be looking to try and kind of get a little bit more settled and disciplined, particularly on offense. I mean, I think the score's a little bit lopsided at the moment and pretty difficult for Manly to get up now, but at least take some positivity and take some flow into the next game.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I guess newer people not familiar with the sport might not know, is that we don't kind of play once a week. You play a couple of big tournaments a year. The tournaments go for, this one's going for 4 days. But you're straight into your next game. You know, you'll play maybe 3 games in a day, so you can't really be down and flat for too much because, as you say, you risk taking that energy and that vibe into the next game. And conversely for Chile, you know, they've kept their tournament alive now, so they need to kind of really ride this wave, not kind of take the foot off the gas at all or give Manly any kind of look in. But how can they use this momentum to help, you know, cap off a really good day? Because it's hard when you go down 1-2 after day one. You're looking down the barrel, but Chile are back on task now as we see an absolute skyscraper from Tom.
That float just enabled Chile to get down quickly. Although Manly working the middle of the field with the unders. Bit better flow than what we've seen before.
I think that's partially because Chile have gone straight into a match as well.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh. So Manly keeping possession. 48, Matt Zabel attacking that disc really well at the same time as the Chile defender.
Oh. Nice beard. Uncontested foul.
All right, Zabel brings it back in. The uplanders come off, but lovely around. Can they continue on the break side? Chile do well to stop that. Zabel in again on the unders. Oh, the flow is looking good, but the catches just aren't being secured at the moment.
So Tom's called, he'll be picking it up. Call from the stack to keep it shallow.
Yeah, looks like they're isolating Evans. That Ragaki-Evans connection has worked quite well for them this game. Evans taking what is given, although that's a high disc, go through 3 sets. Chile managed to hold on to it. Gaki in the dub space. Oh, and a no-look D by Manly. They're off. Going for the big, but Gak gets in front. Secures the D with the catch, making amends for that dump miss. He's telling them to split.
Yeah, Tom's
big directions for a split stack now.
Yeah,
Is Evans going to be the player? Doesn't like the first look, goes for the big, and who else is it but Evans? Manly get the read though, sits under that. All right, Manly. Oh, there's a miscommunication. Oh, comes out on the side. All right, so Hot Chili now looking to settle things. Blesser picking up.
Tom's gone.
Gak going. A hammer throw. Back Ragaki. Oh! Wow, Chili. That went in and out of Gak's hands and then straight into the lap of his teammate.
Tom was bringing it back anyway. I mean, the hammer was, it did what's called a double helix. So you see it goes to the left, to the right. Now you're going to see it curl back out to the left. So Tom's read it really well. Gets kind of tunneled. He was ready to call the foul, but realised it was the only thing better than a foul is a goal.
So does Gat get an assist for that?
Hockey assist, I'd say, yeah. And we're going to see one more timeout. This one, I think, called by Manly.
It's kind of like yesterday's shot. The play of the day in the open side draw when Tom Kinsella from Sublime. Disc just fell into his hand after the mac.
That's right. Landed on him, basically. All right, both teams taking the line after the timeout.
So I was impressed with Manly in that last point. Their flow started to look a lot better.
Agreed.
Hopefully, for Manly's sake, they can replicate that again.
Yeah, it was a strange point. I mean, all the turns just came from miscommunications.
Yeah,
people not seeing, people throwing, turning blind, all that kind of stuff. So let's see what Manly can do to try and maintain a bit of positivity going into their next game.
Chile have opted for a match defence here, although a couple of people sagging in the lane. Manly working up with a small ball first. Now they start moving. They're just second-guessing their throws a little bit. They look pretty open downfield, but they're just not putting them. So working up to halfway now. Still the handlers doing the bulk of the work. Connections with the downfield are not really there.
I think there's going to, obviously, I think the message from Manly has been around protection of the disc. Like they're not throwing anything that's kind of 50-50 or even close, with the exception of high release twigs. Perfect timing. Everyone's collapsing around.
Yeah,
Midfield's shutting down the
high
dump.
stall. He goes cross-field flick.
This is a D.
Oh, way to get up. That was Nathan Payne.
That's for you, Mum. Happy birthday.
Now Chile on offense. See what they can do in the up window. Clearing space for each other. Coming back with the fill. Manly doing all right to keep that pressure on. Chile having to retreat backwards by Kelly.
Become a lot
Payne
more
coming again. Not making a lot of ground. Looks like an open cut, but he didn't like it.
I know.
Oh, because he liked that one better. That inside flick to that continuation break. Oh,
made a lot more
Kelly
sense.
goes for a big fake. Not coming. Cutter's still working well. Oh, through the hands. Ooh. Just time to take a breath, Manly. A nice early undercut comes. They're working it up. Again, trying to use the break side continuation, but nothing coming.
I think you're starting to see a bit of fatigue from both teams, even after the timeout. It's quite static.
Yeah, I think the downfield cutters from Manly, their timing of the cuts are just way too late. By the time they do cut, they're actually just getting in the way of their handlers.
Lovely throw.
Oh, that's working it through. On the doorstep now, Manly. Little flip, and that's a score. Oh, and a pick is called. You see everyone's gassed, hands on their knees.
Yeah, no one was. Just was like, just give us the goal, guys.
So Manly a little bit more free-flowing in this latter part of the field. Let's see if they can convert.
And we've spoken about Manly's development as a team, a Div 2 team now up in Div 1. This is part of what makes a Div 1 team, is being able to score a goal just multiple times. Okay, you've scored it once, it had to go back. Whether it was warranted or not doesn't matter. You need to have the maturity and the discipline to be able to go and score that goal 2, 3, 4 times.
Yeah. Just got to hold your nerve. Oh, tracks that well, and that's a goal. Manly stay in touch, trying to make sure that they've got something to work with for the rest of the day.
Yeah, we saw Moss really present in the first half. Not as prolific in the second, but it was kind of getting every second throw there. All of his throws, he opened up with that lovely around flick and then scoring the assist on that one.
Right, we're now at the almost 84-minute mark of the game. Chile going to have a downwind O point. Again, they've got some pretty tall timber compared to the Manly defensive line. So coming out of timeout, Hot Chili will be looking to maintain the discipline, even when they get into the red zone. So let's see if they can execute that.
So one for the online team. David Evans, 24 out of Chile, has a little bit of Mark Evans about him. I'm going to ask, is he a relation? Looks like he has never seen a mirror he doesn't like, old Evans, so which is like our man Mark the Shark. So curious to know any relation. Okay, Chile moving it up, already got it to their brick mark, making it look pretty easy at this point. But now the defensive intensity comes from Manly. If they can stop the around, they do. Now Caston's back on the end zone line, has to retreat with a wide swing, and it works to Lipari. Lipari wants the inside flick, instead goes back to Caston. Well done from Manly. They've moved him back about 30 metres. Now to Pentland. Pentland gets the break flick around, and that's the discipline from Chile. Even though they had to retreat on ground, they stuck with it. There was one first kind of half break out the side here to Caston. And then they were able to continue the flow. Lovely lefty flick downwind.
Yeah, Chile continue to look good when they're using the width. You saw Caston get that little dump behind and then gesturing for the continuation. Lipari did honour that, but a little bit late coming, so there was some heat from the defender. I think if they can time that a little earlier, that'll look a bit more pretty.
All right, so game point now. Hot Chili, if they score, they win. Stick with us. We've got more action coming out throughout the day. We'll have another game from the Open Division from memory. It's Mammoth versus, drumroll please, Fishwick. Mammoth and Fishwick. So that's going to be a massive game. Fishwick, probably the story of the Open Draw, beat one of the Sunder teams, beat Juggernaut on Universe, although I have heard they've dropped a game to Sublime this morning.
Makes for an interesting pool.
Yeah, the pool's a mess, actually, is what I've been told. That's one of the best pools of the day. Upwind, look at this. First pass. Almost what I got, Gaxki. David and Mark are brothers. Thank you, Belredo. Makes sense. Shout out to Mark the Shark if he's around. Manly, good flow already despite that pool going nice and deep. They've got it up past at their brick mark now. Moss Goes the backhand, looks to get it back. He does. One striking deep. Moss instead goes under.
Oh!
Big bid. Manly do well to retain it. Moss goes the backhand again. Looks for the give-go. This time he gets downfield. Cycles downfield. Zabel throws out wide. So good flow from Manly, but they're a little bit deep. This should be okay. It'll work for them. This is Godfrey. Godfrey's dump goes.
Oh,
Throws
inside backhand doesn't come off.
So it's slightly behind Zabel. And
Chili.
Evans is gone.
Yeah, he saw it in Gak's hands and just went.
Yeah, Gak gets like this, right? He gets his favourites and he goes, when I get it, you cut.
Yes.
Like, watch this. Here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, man, great bid.
Oh, still up. Hammer across field. Oh.
Go again.
Oh, still up. Oh, Evans for the win.
Well
What?
done. Check him out. His brother throws the goals, but he catches them. He's got a big smile. He's pretty happy with himself. He's an Evans after all. What a nice point to finish that. Huge bid from Moss. Gak, all arms and legs, just managed to reel it in somehow, throws the hammer, and then it goes up and around. Manly bringing it to the end. They can be proud of that. It was a massive D bid from Moss. Gak did enough. And David Evans had a good game.
Yeah, we'll be looking out for those Gak to Evans connections. See if they can punish a few more defenses.
So see, here we go. Moss, Gak.
1, 2, 3. Just in bounds as well. Crossfield hammer, that's not an easy throw at all. And then this one just bobs up.
Goes one,
1,
two,
2,
three.
3.
Lovely leading throw from Mitch, but great D. Attempt. Gak still got it. And you're right about that hammer. That's not easy. That's why you got to stay with the play. So anyway, that's it from us. Thank you very much for joining. As I mentioned, we're going to be back on in a couple of minutes' time. It'll be 12:10, so about 20 minutes from now. We're going to have a really important game in the context of how the pool standings work. We're going to have Fishwick, who, as we said, with a surprise packet of yesterday, probably dropped one they shouldn't have this morning, playing Mammoth out of Queensland. So tune in then. Till then, thank you very much, Avril.
Thanks very much, Andy.
All right, we'll be back.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.